Today on the channel, we're back to some 90s Jim Lee era X-Men classics with the Psylocke, Gambit, Banshee, Marvel Legends 60th Anniversary 3-pack.
The spirit of the warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another X-Men 90s Jim Lee Classic 3-pack unboxing, part of the Marvel Legends 60th Anniversary of the X-Men. And today we've got Gambit, we've got Psylocke, and we've got Banshee. But remember, for all your Marvel Legend needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8% off your total. Of course, remember that is in Canadian dollars, so Americans and elsewhere, your dollar goes a little bit farther, so you can get a little bit better deal, and we all got to get a deal. And I felt like I got one here, of course, as this did come from the Great White North, as they do seemingly get a lot of this Hasbro stuff much earlier than all the competition out there. So make note of it, bookmark the page, and use the discount code. But today we're taking a look at another X-Men 3-pack. We already unboxed the first one on the pack, or on the channel, I should say, and then we also unboxed the Wolverine single-carded issue, so we're completing a little team action here today, which I'm all about. I love a team on a shelf, a uniformed look, looking really cool, and a good way to go, because always loved a 3-pack going all the way back to my childhood. I loved box sets like this, as you instantly had a bunch of new characters into your playing days, things like that, or your display shelf in my age bracket now. Very cool, and of course we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews here on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it, we're going to see where it goes from there. Beautiful cardboard packaging on this. Obviously, we all would prefer the plastic prison, but I do like this. This does pop for what it is. Obviously, you can't see what figures are in there, figure swappers, that whole kind of thing. I do understand that, but the packaging does look really nice here. But you got Gambit, you got Psylocke, you got Banshee there leading the charge. You got the classic X-Men logo. When I think of the X-Men logo, that's kind of the logo I think of. Just beautiful packaging there. On the side, there it is. They got the Murderers Row, all three of them right there. And then you got that 90s classic artwork. That's what I grew up on, reading for X-Men. So this one hits home for me for sure. And then on the back, you get a little bit more figure looks here. All the jibber jabber down there. Marvel Legends, and I believe their names up top. Yep, Gambit, Marvel's, Banshee, and Psylocke. But without further ado, let's get them out of the package. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's doing in this cardboard prison here. But that's exactly what it is, cardboard prison. See you later. Goodbye. And then we're into the cardboard and parchment paper. Who knows what's going on here? Just an absolute mess. See you later. Goodbye. Look at that. What is this? Gambit's head's uncovered. What are we doing here? What are we doing, Hasbro? Let's get him out. Let's see what's going on. See what all the fuss is about. There we go. Parchment paper, cardboard. See you later. To the recycling bin with you. That's where you're headed to. And then there's Gambit right there. So we're going to stick him off to the side. Looking good. Gambit, an all-time favorite for me. I absolutely love Gambit. Always have loved Gambit. A favorite of the 90s X-Men fans, I think, across the board. Get Psylocke out here. See you later. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye. There's old Banshee. Doing old Banshee things in the package there. Very interesting. Interesting. See you later. We'll dive into him in a second here. What do we got here? Oh, it looks like Psylocke stuff. Yes, it does. Got her weapons. All right. Plastic parchment. See you later. Let's take her off to the side. Banshee, going to put him with his stuff. Put her with her stuff. And this leads to be Gambit stuff here. So we're getting it all out of there. Look at Gambit. He comes with a purse. He's got his own purse here. How about you, Gambit? Being very forward-thinking back in the 90s, apparently. See you later. Goodbye. And then, yes, Gambit stick right there. See you later. Goodbye. All right, let's get Gambit over here to the side. And there we go. There we go. And we're going to start it off with Psylocke, because why not? Ladies first, right? Let's start it with the ladies. And we got Psylocke right here. Brand new head sculpt on Psylocke. Looking very, very nice. Looking very sharp. I love the vibrant skin tone here. It's like she's got a little bit of a tan. Just the start of a little tan here. And then the purple eyes, around the purple in the eyes there. And then, of course, the purple hair, really bringing out the colors on this one. Just a very good looking Psylocke. Definitely a good one. A good one right here, right off the bat. So I like the looks here. Interesting body style on Psylocke. When you first look at it from a distance, very thick from the waist on down compared to her top section. Very skinny skinny arms and a little bit thicker body. So the proportions are an interesting one here. But if we remember back in the 90s how she was drawn, I guess this does make a lot of sense. Obviously, we remember her in her more skimpy outfits in the comic books back in the day instead of the X-Men team outfit here. But the blue and the yellow always pops. Very iconic, especially to 90s X-Men fans out there. We all love that. Love that they have these thigh braces here that they're sculpted in now. They don't just hang there and fall down. One of the most annoying things about Marvel Legends back in the day was that, but definitely looks good sculpted in here. You got the X-Men belt in the middle, breaking up the color monotony of the yellow and the blue. That looks really good with the black and red attack with the X in the middle. Very good head sculpt, like I said, looking nice. And I guess we'll start off with the articulation on Psylocke right here. The arm's going to go all the way around for us. Bicep cut. Double jointed, pinless elbows. We're playing the hits right to start right here. We got the hands back and forth, side to side. Then, of course, you got the head side to side, back and forth. Hula hoop up there. And then you got the big old splits for Psylocke. Got to do those splits. Thigh cut like so. Double jointed, pinless knees, playing the hits once again. You say no boot cut on this one, no boot cut on her, but the ankles do move around. So there's a little Psylocke there. Does she fit on a ringside collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle, save 10% on your stands, and what do you know? Fits perfectly on the old ringside stand right there. And usually I start with the accessories first. I guess I got so excited to get Psylocke in my hands, I started that way. But let's look at these hands really quick here. We got two hands with her. So we got a fist and a splayed out hand. So really a lot of different hands for her. I like that. Usually you get two fists, two splayed out hands, two gripping hands, two fisted hands, whatever it may be. We get a little bit different colors of the rainbow here as we get the splayed out hand and the fist with her. So I like that. And then we do get some of her psychic weapons, I guess we'll call them here. This should wrap around the sword, of course, as we know. Not quite the Sword of Omens as far as swords go, but it does wrap here. We've seen this. This is reuse. I believe the last version of Psylocke had more of a pink one than purple, but it is definitely a purple color. Love the blade. Love the effect piece around it. Always looks really, really good. And then you got the like kind of claw, the little spike that the Psylocke has here. So we do have that as well. Doing a little comparison, I do have a prior version of Psylocke. I think I have two different ones in my collection. I've always liked her figures, but definitely different on this one. This is what most of us, I think of when we think of Psylocke. More this outfit than this one, but still a good yin to the yang, a little point of difference. And of course, you're building the team out. She's got to be wearing something like this. So that does work for me here, but a little comparison time right there. But Psylocke, she's okay with my book. Okay in my book. Now we're going to turn our attention over to Gambit, one of my all-time favorite X-Men characters, like a lot of kids that came into the X-Men in the late 80s and early 90s. A lot of us loved our Wolverine, and a lot of us loved our Gambit. That was just kind of the way it went. And Gambit still got a lot of fans in this day and age as well. And we're no stranger to Gambit. We've had a few Gambits over the years. Of course, you got the old school, what was it, Apocalypse Build-A-Figure, maybe that wave. We also got a Target exclusive in recent years of Gambit. So now we get a different one, of course, in his X-Men team suit here. So I'm always here for that. Get extra hands for Gambit. We got the kind of card-throwing hand there. Always love that one with the two fingers. And then you got the gripping hand, so you can grab his stick, his cane, whatever we're going to call it. But then we get extra hands here. We do get a traditional gripping hand, so pretty plain Jane in that aspect. We understand that. But we do get the card-throwing hand. Always love the card-throwing hand. Got 3 cards, got a little effect piece. Always iconic to Gambit. Makes a lot of sense to me, so I do like that. And then we continue on, and we got a little card action, a little smoking card at the top, looking really good. I got the heart on there. We've seen this as well. So it makes a lot of sense. Get the most out of your molds, but it does fit with Gambit. It's not like we get these cards with anybody but Gambit, so it makes sense to put it in this pack. And we continue on. We got his nice cane, stick, whatever you want to call it. One of his, if not his most iconic weapon outside of the cards, I guess, depending who you ask. But looking really good, all in gray color, but very fitting for Gambit, of course, as we do know. And then we get his merce, his satchel, his purse, whatever we're going to call it here. Very interesting. I guess you got to put your cards, you got to put some of that stuff somewhere, and I guess he's going to stick it in here. We've also seen this in the past before a few different times and a few different toy lines from the Hasbro Marvel Legends team. But it is a brown one. I got a little silver accents to it, of course, fits over the body. Is what it is, but definitely interesting. I'm not sure if I'm totally going to use that with my Gambit figure, but your mileage may vary. But now we get down to the semi-main event, we'll call it. We got Gambit right here. We got the blue and yellow going on. Of course, the nice thing is the new body style here on Gambit. A little bit more muscular than the older versions of Gambit, but still looks really, really good. Like I said, to get the yellow and blue attack going on. He does have his belt there, but the belt is riding a little bit low on him. It does look a little strange. Feels like it needs to be just a tad higher, but maybe that's just me. That's just my eyes. And another interesting way, he's got like a choker chain, like a little collar there that's kind of free floating. It's not kind of, it is. And it is in yellow. So that looks a little bit strange. It just looks very weird on him. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but I guess he did have it there, so they have it, but just... It looks a little strange. It almost looks like he needs a leash on it or something. Maybe Rogue's going to put a leash on Gambit. I don't know if that'll happen, but very interesting look there. And then you do got a Gambit head. I think most people see this, they're going to recognize it's Gambit. Looks good with the hair flying up there. He's got the kind of mask around. It's a very interesting mask, interesting headwear Gambit wears. Always thought it was kind of weird. But it does look enough like Gambit. You got the ears sticking out. Good skin tone color on him. No problems there. Of course, articulation, arm's going to go all the way around. You do get the butterfly shoulders there. That's a nice update. Of course, head side to side, back and forth. Tons of movement on the head here for Gambit, so plenty of movement there. You got the traditional ab crunch. You got the traditional waist. Hand's going to be removable. He just got those kind of funnel forearm guards there. Looking nice. You do got the double jointed pinless elbows playing the hits with Gambit as well. You got the big old Gambit splits in case he needs to, you know, jump over somebody or something. You do get the thigh cut. Once again, I love that these are sculpted in now, and it's a perfect spot to hide the articulation, so that looks really, really good. Double jointed, pinless knees. The hits continue. Same thing with the boot cut. It is hidden here behind this. I love that. And then you get the ankles back and forth, side to side. I really do like this new body mold. It's going to work for a lot of characters. Going to give a lot of upgrades to a lot of our characters on our shelves with this one. Does he fit on a Ringside Collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% at Ringside Collectibles. Make sure you get the Mattel stands for the Hasbro figures. I don't know, it writes itself in some ways. Looks really, really good. And of course, we do have a Gambit. I did grab the Target exclusive Gambit from a year or 2 years ago. What is time, as we always do say. But definitely looking good. Definitely, I don't know if it's an improvement necessarily, but it's a different look. Much like Psylocke, it's a different look for the character outside of their most iconic look. And when you're building out this team shelf, that works. This is great for the Rogue and Gambit side mission, things like that. But when you got the team going, this is what it's about at the end of the day. So I really do like this Gambit. Looking really good, and of course I like this Gambit as well. Now we're going to go to the final one, and the one I've been looking forward to the most. I'm just a little bit disappointed he doesn't have a whistle in the back, where you could whistle into the back of him like the old school Toy Biz ones I had as a little kid. But I always loved Banshee. Banshee was always a cool one. Of course, he was an X-Men member in and out and stuff like that. Animated series, of course, he was kind of helping out a little bit, stealing away Moira McTaggart from Professor X, things like that. But everybody loves a Cassidy, I guess. We'll do a little Cassidy comparison in this very video, but very much a figure on a lot of people's want list. I'm actually a little surprised they put him in a 3-pack like this. I figured he would be in a solo card X-Men wave as kind of one of the main eventers, but it wasn't seem to be the case here. But let's walk through his accessories here real quick. He does got 2 open hands, 2 gloved open hands. You got one of a splayed out hand, one of a maniacal hand, so you can kind of choose each way. And then he does come with the 2 fists of fury on him, so he's ready to throw down at a moment's notice if need be. Then we get down to old Sean Cassidy. Don't call me Cletus Cassidy, that is Carnage, but we get Sean Cassidy here. And they did exactly what they should have done with Siren. Of course, if you know Siren, I see something I don't like right off. Oh, never mind. Okay, we'll get to it. We'll get to it here in a second. But I do like that they gave us 2 heads for Banshee here. Banshee looking really, really good. I love the plain Jane stoic head, but then you get the screaming head. This is what they should have done with Siren. She was was she the Bone Breaker wave? I think so last year. She should have had a screaming head, and they did right that wrong. They probably listened to feedback, said, if we're going to give Banshee, we better get both heads here, but I do like this. The Screaming Banshee head is more of a Banshee accustomed to like the X-Men animated series, things like that. A little bit more of a look to that in my mind's eye. You got the orange hair going there, the Screaming head, just a beautiful, beautiful head sculpt there. Really like this, but the one that's stock on it, this reminds me of 70s Banshee when he first came on the X-Men scene. You got the big old mutton chops there, like a young Mike Nesmith, the greatest of all time, or one of the greatest, I'll call him. It looks just like Mike Nesmith. Even the hair looks like Mike Nesmith back in the day. Very, very good looking one, very stoic face on him. But I feel like this head sculpt doesn't match this era of Banshee's body. This is more of the old school green Banshee outfit and stuff, which we probably are due for an update of that. I think that'll be coming sooner rather than later. But it does look good both ways. One note on his costume, he's got that big old 70s collar up there in yellow. That does look really good. It is on point for old Banshee here. Looking really, really nice. And I do love, once again, the yellow and the blue suit, like all these other ones, looking really, really nice together. And then we do get very interesting, I guess, soft goods. I guess we'll call it soft goods. It is soft, but you get the... what do you even call these things? I don't even know what you call them. I don't even know what they really are. Why does he wear these? I feel like they would inhibit him. I guess they slow him down and help speed him up when he's flying, maybe. I'm not exactly sure what you would call these, but the one thing at first when I saw this I was a little worried of, I saw this was out, I thought it was broken off, but it does just peg into the leg, thankfully. So it pegs right in there like so. They will come out, so don't be alarmed if yours is out, but that was the first thing I thought of. Oh no, the peg's broken, are you kidding me? And then I was going to go on a rant. That's why we need plastic packaging back and all that kind of stuff, but we'll save that here today. But you do get that soft goods in there, much like we saw with Siren, much like we saw Banshee over the years. We always kind of get this in the yellow and black attack. Looking good. Maybe it's a striper flag. Was he at a Michael Sweet concert playing with some striper and he had the flag there and he put it on? I'm not exactly sure, but I have heard, somebody fact checked it, I've heard Banshee is a huge Michael Striper fan, Michael Sweet fan of Striper, easy for me to say, huge fan, but looking good there. But it is Banshee, and we've been wanting Banshee for a long time, at least I have, so I am very happy to add him to my X-Men shelf. Very, very cool. I gotta decide which head to use. I'm leaning towards the Screaming head, maybe sticking him on a flight stand, but man, oh man, this looks good. This was worth the wait. It was worth the wait. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? Yes, he does. Use discount code Kyle. And of course, grabbed his daughter, X-Force member, all around X-Men good guy. We got old Siren, so we got the family back together here. Banshee, of course, much more iconic than Siren, but still pretty cool. Just Siren missing that Screaming head. Huge, huge miss by the Marvel Legends team back in the day. But very, very cool to get these three here to work that team together. And, of course, we got a few more. Of course, we had Wolverine. We had Forge. We unboxed all these on the channel. Go back. Check out the videos if you did miss them. We got Storm, of course, and then we got Jubilee. Old Jubilation Lee. So we're building out that blue and yellow X-Men team. Absolutely a favorite of mine, as I've said a few times in this video. Reading the X-Men comic in the 90s, up into the animated series. Just quite the time for the X-Men, all things X-Men. And now we're ramping up for that again with the X-Men 97 cartoon continuing. Just very happy to have these guys all together, and I'm not opposed to more team suits, things like this, and I love that it was fairly easy. It didn't take us 10 years to build out the team. We got a lot of figures pretty quick. In about a 3-month span, we got 7 figures in their blue and yellow suits, and I think that is pretty cool. That is cool for a fan base, not dangling that carrot, making us take years to complete. Just a very, very good idea, and I love stuff like this. I don't like the price point so much on 3-packs, but I love the idea. I love the thought of it. I love how they build your collection right off the bat, and that's what we get right here. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? What are your thoughts in this X-Men team build? Is it for you? Is it not for you? Do you want the more iconic outfits for these people, or do you want a team set like this? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far, you might as well like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell. As you guys know, we got videos every single day, and then some. Yes, and then some. And we got even more content, including early access to all the videos over on the Patreon channel. And best of all, you do support the channel and all of its content over on the Patreon, link in the description below. You can also support the channel, ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, and then don't forget about social media. SirPaul64 is where you're going to find me on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for the X-Men 90s Jim Lee era, I am Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.